Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, welcome once again to the SYN Shop podcast. I am, of course, the Mighty Pong.
And I'm Krux.
And as always, anything good, anything worth doing is worth doing several times and a half hour late. But before we get into the main bit of the show here, an announcement on the shop. Now, the SYN Shop is, of course, a maker/hackerspace located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we offer tools and equipment that you can use to make pretty much whatever you can think of. We're currently closed for renovation, but you're going to have to wait. So you're going to have to wait a little bit to come check out the shop. Now, members are currently working as hard as they can to get the shop back in action just as soon as possible. So if you are in the Las Vegas area and would like to help, you can join our Discord and check out the shop build out channel to see what you can do to help get the shop back in action. Now, to join our Discord, you can head over to synshop.org/Discord. And to make sure that you're notified of our future events, including virtual ones just like this, you can join us at meetup.com/Synshop. And of course, to find out more about the shop in general, you can just head to synshop.org. And with that, man, you know, I feel like we haven't talked about this subject in like half hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still pretty sore from all the work. I was on the show last Monday or the Friday before, I think.
I think it's probably been at least 3 shows.
Yeah, I did. I think I did the Monday before that. And managed to stay awake. But yeah, we had a lot of demo, so we filled up 3 dumpsters, like 2 30 yards and a 40 yard of just boards and drywall and insulation and all sorts of nastiness that comes with ripping out walls and windows and all that. So the video you're showing, that's where we've like cut a wall free and then pull it over and then let the dust settle and then come in and break it all up. And I think one of the days I had my steel-toed boots on and I got home and like noticed that like there was a huge bruise on my not shin but ankle. I was like, well, what the hell caused that? And hurt at the time. And the next morning I went to put on my boots and get to work, and I knew exactly what caused the bruise. It was those boots, because the process of breaking up that to make it take less space up in the dumpster, we'd have to break all the drywall up. And sometimes the most efficient way of doing that is just going there and stepping on it until it all breaks into small pieces. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, I definitely learned. I used to do commercial construction, low voltage wiring installation. And I definitely learned the value of
you should show the sidewall coming down. That was impressive.
Definitely. Wow. I'll bet that was loud.
Yeah, it was an event.
Absolutely. Yeah, so like there's been all kinds of construction going on there. We've talked about that in previous episodes, but it's going to be really neat. Like I'm glad that the decision was finally made to tear down that back room, because that's going to open up. It's going to give you what, like probably 20-something% more space in the back room.
I think it's closer to like 40. Would be maybe 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that opens all that up and allows you a bit more flexibility in where you put stuff. It gives us more overhead space for dust collection and power and all that other stuff we need to run. And like that area, that thing had like a bathroom upstairs that had like black mold in it. And so all that's getting ripped out, and none of it was done to code. There was like so many things that we found that were issues, and it's like, why the hell did they do this? Like, I think there was about a total of 6 of the nails that they drive into, like through the floor joist or whatever it's called, whatever the bottom 2x4 is. So there's essentially a nail gun that's driven by like a 22 charge, and it's supposed to go into the concrete, and they went in about like maybe a half inch at the deepest. One were like a quarter inch, and there was only like 6 of them, which is nowhere near enough.
No, it's supposed to be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And definitely deeper than that.
There was like this skim wall that was over the firewall, and it was really only being held in by, they'd put a window in, didn't frame the window. They just put the window in and then like made a drywall box and put the window in that. And that was what was holding that whole skim wall in place.
You put the picture of that up on
structural drywall. It was really bad.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make any damn sense at all. Like, I don't understand. If you know enough to like hang a window somewhat straight, I can't believe you wouldn't know enough to just frame it out the way you're supposed to. That's super weird. But it's probably one of those things where, you know, like the cobbler's children are the ones with bare feet. You know what I mean? Like, even if they know what they're doing, it's their thing and they don't care. And so it's like, whatever. I'll just slap this in. However.
Yeah, it was bad. So
it's bad.
So we're glad that that's getting fixed.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Well, so another thing that might need to get fixed, is the Capitol. So there was a thing last Wednesday. You might be aware of it. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle. What was supposed to be a 20-minute nothing burger turned into a, you know, I think 20, well, not 20 hour, but like a 15-hour freaking ordeal. But yeah, you already know what happened. There's really no need to go over it. It was indeed, life's lesson is correct in the chat there. It was indeed.
I was productive at work and getting stuff done. And then I took like a quick break. It was like, I opened up Twitter and then everything was on fire. Not literally on fire, but figuratively. Yeah.
Well, I had C-SPAN on back in the background because I'm a nerd like that, and I'm listening to it, and you know, I'm expecting somebody to like, oh, I object to the thing, and then they split up and they do their thing, and then they come back and they do what they were supposed to do anyway, and then it happened. But at any rate, everybody already knows all about what happened. I'm not trying to make this a big thing. So it's not. This show isn't really about the Capitol Kerfuffle. It's about something that was kerfuffle adjacent, in fact. So basically, the where I'm going with this is the Capitol Police. You know, in all the excitement there, they didn't get a chance to give out all the gift baskets that they had. So they're trying to contact the attendees to make sure that they get their gift baskets. And that's where IntelligenceX comes in. Now you had posted this to the Discord the day that happened. Do you want to give us like a little bit of background on what IntelligenceX is? It's basically just like a search engine, right?
So open source intelligence. It's essentially finding information that is freely available that you can use to find information about a person or company or building or whatever you want to look up. So, you know, there's things like public records. So say if you bought a house, your legal name's on that. People know where you live because, well, it's your house that you bought. All kinds of things like that. If you have an amateur radio license and, there's an FCC database that says, this call sign goes to this person's real name and this is their address or the address that they have on file. A lot of times that's the PO box. If they knew about that beforehand, otherwise it's usually the real address. Yeah. So all kinds of things like that. Taking and posting pictures of things that you're doing, that can give you bits of information. One of the examples I found kind of amusing is there was a guy that had his work badge on.
Oh yeah.
And that got him found really quick.
Man, the intelligence of some of those attendees. Life's lesson is saying the hat guy is an electrical engineer, right? I believe you would be the hatted one.
No, I'm a network engineer, but I did work for a company that did like pen tests and like computer security stuff. So I've had a lot of background in computer security. So therefore, things like OSINT and OPSEC and stuff like that are just things I know because I either did it because of my job or friends of mine, it was their job or hobby. So.
So you said earlier that it's open source intelligence, and it's funny, like when I first heard OSINT and someone said open source intelligence, I thought it was like information that's free for you to use, but that's not exactly the same meaning as like you think of open source software and it's like, oh, here you have software and you can have the source code and blah blah blah. But that's not what this is. This is the sources are already open, right? Because like you said before, it's publicly available.
Yeah, there's other things like there are services that will go and like scan the internet for like open ports, and so you can go on that service and say, all right, well, tell me, which sites have port 1, 2, 3, 4 open, and it'll just spit out a list. Or if you're looking for information on a company, you can look at their DNS records, and all that is archived, and so you can see like the entire history of like, okay, well, they had this host name and these other host names, and you don't even have to hit the company server. It's just that information is out there. So it's collecting information. It's referred to as like collecting it passively, so you're not doing like an active scan or an active thing on that. Like if you were trying to get information on a person, it's looking up stuff on the internet versus sending out a private investigator to sit out in a car and observe the guy type of thing. So
well, and so that was one of my questions. Like, so I would imagine, well, actually, before I go there, is the main purpose of this for law enforcement officials or for anybody? I mean, I know anyone can do it, but like, what is?
So I mean, law enforcement will use it. It's big in the computer security community. Oh yeah, Jackalope brings up there's forums dedicated to stuff like that. Lab Fox, a former member of the shop, she moved away, but like she was big into that too.
Right on. Hello. Yeah, good to have you in the chat.
Yeah, this Jackalope, she's like probably one of the best people I know in OSN, if I were to say so. Like, I just made an offhand story. I made an offhand comment of like, there's this weirdo that posted something on my YouTube channel, and then like she's like in bed and like on her phone and pulls up like all this dossier of like the entire information on this person, and like this is where he lives, and this is like the conspiracy theory groups that he's a member of, and blah blah blah. It's like,
oh wow,
all right, well, I won't engage this person, and I might go and delete that message in a few days.
Wow.
All like probably like one-handed on a phone, just kind of like absent-mindedly pulling up the entire history of a person. So.
Hey, that's a good skill. I mean, like I don't really see anything wrong with that, because there's a lot of times where you need to know what the situation is with somebody. I mean, if it's somebody that wants to, if they want keys to the shop, or if they want, like, hey, let me watch your house for the weekend or something, you know what I mean? Like having all that information, it's not a bad thing at all. Or, a new employee interview.
Yeah, that's an excellent example I was just going to bring up, is like when we would interview someone, I'd Google their name or Google, their email address or whatever, and see what comes up.
Yeah. That's what Jackalope was saying earlier, going as far as forums and social media. So that would be, like your Facebook posts and your all of your Twitter stuff and all that.
Mhm.
Like, do a lot of companies do that, or is that only like security companies that would do that?
I'd imagine that there's companies that do and there's companies that don't. Um, I would say if the information's out there, then and you're looking to hire someone, then see what's public available. I mean, that also that speaks a lot to, especially like in the computer security industry, that speaks a lot to that type of person. So, if you see that they're just have bad OPSEC practices on their Twitter posts, like they're showing a bunch of pictures of them with like their badge or stuff like that, then maybe you might want to make a note of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Or if you just so happen to see one of them, inside the Capitol building when they're not supposed to be.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things that I made a comment of is it's like, oh, it's interesting seeing all these people that are getting a listen in OSINT. Because like the FBI posted a document of like, all right, there's all these pictures of these people that we want to find information about. And I was going on Twitter and there's just a ton of people just digging up information because it's easy to get, especially when you're not taking any precautions to actually hide information about yourself.
Mm-hmm. It never ceases to amaze me that the people who are like, oh my goodness, these people are they want to find out information about our lives, they want to control our lives, blah blah blah. Hold on, let me enter my life into Facebook. Hold on.
You're and this is more into the OPSEC realm of things, but you're live tweeting every moment that you're on a vacation. And then if someone's watching your Twitter feed, well, they know you're not home.
Yeah.
And they probably can figure out where you live.
The badge guy from Wednesday. Jackalope says the badge guy from Wednesday cracks me up.
Yeah,
don't be that guy.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, like, don't be that guy for several reasons, but that one too. Fortunately, the allure of social media points is too much for many of them. Yeah, no kidding. Like I said, never ceases to amaze me. So IntelliX, they've been doing, or IntelligenceX, they've been doing this for a long time. But this isn't the only single source, right?
What do you mean, IntelligenceX?
The IntelliX, the URL that you posted, like there's more than just that.
Oh yeah, that was a service where they kind of archive like a lot of media and stuff. I just found out about them actually. So like for events like this, like they just it was like kind of a Dropbox for people to post pictures and videos and all that. So it's not deleted by if say Twitter decides, all right, well, we're going to delete this because we don't want it on our platform for whatever reason. Well, there's a copy of it. Same thing with like archive.org. They're a great site because they archive everything on the internet, and therefore you can go and find out like the history of a site. So you not only can see it now, but you can see it like when it changed last, or what it looked like 2 years ago, etc.
Bellingcat is the sickness, apparently. I don't know what Bellingcat is. What's a Bellingcat?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Bellingcat is, but
oh, okay. Apparently, it's the sickness.
Okay,
I have it on good authority, and from a trusted source.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will find out in the due course of time. So there are multiple sites. So archive.org, and then this one, and I don't know if Bellingcat is another example of that or not, but
you can like do a reverse image search. Like if you had an image of a person, then you go to like something like TinEye or Google image search, and it's going to show where these images are, and that's how you can often find information about them.
Yeah, I was on a forum one time, and somebody was posting some information that was just like, oh, these people over here, they're bad people. They do 50% of the crime, and it was just a total BS statistic that I had seen somewhere before. And so I threw it into 10i, and it came back as coming from Stormfront. I was like, that's just FYI. Those are Nazis. Don't do that. So let's see. Bellingcat. It's an independent international collective of researchers, investigators, and citizen journalists using open source and social media investigation to probe a variety of subjects. Well, that's freaking awesome. Okay, so Bellingcat. Ask for it by name.
Yeah. Like I said, Jackalope knows way more about this than I do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. At some point, if ever she's up for it, if ever she's up for it, there's always a spot for you. But let's see.
If they are a Nazi, then yeah, call them a Nazi.
I mean, if they say that they are, if they themselves say, "Hi, we are," then that's kind of the point where you say, "Yeah, they told us who they are. I guess I'll believe them." Yeah. IntelligenceX linked to Bellingcat in their Washington, D.C. tweet up there. Oh,
okay.
I see now. I didn't see, but let's see here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Huh, sweet. But yeah, it's a hell of a thing. And what's great is even the people now that are like, oh, there's people getting fired. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely, Jackalope. There's people getting fired for this. Oh, I better delete all the Twitters. Well, too bad, because places like this are probably going to have that information. So, shouldn't have posted it. But yeah. So, let's see. Are we done at the thing yet? Well, you know what? Sure, this is a good place as any for a mid-show break. Why not? Krux and I, we're talking tonight about OSINT, and in just a quick second, we'll be talking about OPSEC. And this is all on behalf of the SYN Shop. The SYN Shop, of course, is a maker hackerspace located in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we offer tools and equipment that you can use to make pretty much whatever you can think of. Now, we are looking for people to help out with our current renovation, so all of our members are working as hard as they can. But if you're in the Vegas area and would like to help, join up our Discord at synshop.org/Discord. And to find out more about upcoming events, including virtual ones just like this, you can join us at meetup.com/Synshop. Okay, so we covered OSINT, and you mentioned when I said, hey, we should talk about OSINT earlier, you also mentioned OPSEC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I knew that stood for Operation Security, but was ist das?
So, well, I mean, OPSEC is used in a lot of areas. So it's used in military, it's used in, information security. It's essentially trying to limit what information you leak out about things. Using the example of you go on vacation, maybe you don't live tweet like every second of where you're at, that you're not at home,
right?
That your house isn't being watched. I typically won't post a lot of images of things if I'm not, if I'm away, or I'll post them after I get back. Yeah. It's not always the case, but I do try to limit things like that. If you're, a company, you might not, say you were having a problem with X software, and it was like a very old version of the software. You might not want to post with your company account that, oh, hey, I'm having a problem of X software with this vulnerability on this version on a public forum. Yeah. Things like that. You try to, keep your cards close to your chest, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The only time I'll ever post pictures of vacations is when I'm back from it. That's the only time that I'll actually post pictures of, hey, I went here. And even then it's usually just to close friends, but I don't think I have in quite a while. Like when I used to go like look at abandoned buildings and, off-roading and all that stuff, I wouldn't post it till I got back.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of that, it's like, but yeah, I never thought about that, about the software end of things. Cause if you're like, oh, I'm having a problem with Windows XP, and you're posting it from your, what is vacation? Right? Yeah, no kidding. It's like what we're doing right now, only no work and you can go other places.
Huh.
Don't go on vacation. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's kind of everybody right now. But yeah.
Yeah. Are
okay.
You bought a house and the first thing you shouldn't do is it's not a good idea to go and post a picture of you holding your house key up, because you can make a legitimate key from that picture, and they know who you are. Well, they know your address because you bought the house and it's public record.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was an article about airport security, and they posted a picture of all the keys that the TSA uses to unlock your luggage. And people were able to construct keys. I think that's one of the first things I printed at the SYN Shop, actually. But they can take they took the picture and they built a 3D model of all the TSA keys.
Yeah.
And so now those are freely available.
What if people want to steal my unfinished projects? I mean, that would be a way of getting projects off your plate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, as long as they finished it for you.
Yeah.
Titans in the chat says, I've heard of companies having a clean desk policy due to security concerns. Is it what it sounds like, and what's the reason for it? A clean desk policy.
Well, yeah. So if, say, and there's a picture I saw of this, is like, if you leave your desk, lock your screen. Don't leave out paperwork that might have information. Especially, like, this is really harped on if you work anywhere that you require a security clearance. You can't leave documents out that people don't have a need to know.
Yeah. Let's just say you're in the House of Representatives. Before you leave the office, it'd probably be a good idea to hit Windows L. Because somebody didn't.
Or Control, Delete, and Enter. Yeah.
Clean desk, mess with an engineer's desk, and okay. Well, so I think what they're referring to is when you get up and leave your desk, leave it. You don't leave papers around that people could call it not trash, dumpster dive, essentially, but not in the dumpster. But you know what I mean? Like walk by and see a piece of paper out. Oh, that's what they're working on. Yeah, protect from wandering eyes. That's a much better way to put that.
Yeah,
that's the way you humans would say it. But at a place I used to work, they made a big deal about that. There was this PSA that they had, to where you were supposed to treat everything as though it was a baby, your baby. But it was one of the funniest like employee training videos I've ever seen. I really I wish I could find a copy of it, but at any rate. Pelosi's office. Yeah, well, you know what? As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I was referring to there. Jack Love says Pelosi's office was an OPSEC nightmare. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they got away with her laptop, didn't they? Or it was either hers or was it Sherrod Brown? They got away with somebody.
I thought there was like at least one laptop that got taken away.
Merkley. It was Merkley. Yeah. You did pen testing, right? Ever seen places that have classified papers and they just leave them in bags outside the door to be shredded? That sounds like a no-no.
I mean, they shouldn't be doing that. If it's classified paper, then it has to be in a classified area that's protected. Though I have seen like unclassified stuff left out.
Yeah.
I've also, another thing that's a point of note is just because something is unclassified doesn't mean that it shouldn't have the same level of protection.
Doesn't mean that it shouldn't have the same.
So you can paint a picture with several bits of information that gives you insight of like a higher classification thing. Like, you know that, oh, well, they're sending a bunch of supplies to this region on these dates, and they're doing some other thing. Then you can infer that, okay, well, maybe there's some sort of military activity that's going to be taking place there.
Yeah, so 10,000 MREs are being shipped to Upper Slobovia. I guess there's going to be 10,000 people going there for all these meals or something.
Yeah.
However that ratio would actually work in real life. But everyone gets one meal and that's it. In, out, 15-minute job. I don't know. But yeah, so, So, okay, so basically what
exactly.
it is.
You can get a lot of information from very little information. So
Yeah. And who was it? Master Chen. He actually talked about this topic a while ago, where it was he made something that would scrape Facebook and look at all of like you'd pick a target and it would look at all of that target's friends and use that to see who was on that person's friend list and who wasn't or something like that. He would basically look at where you weren't. It was really weird, like the way he described it. I don't know if you remember that or not, but
yeah, I mean that's it. So it's back in the OSINT thing, because all that information is available, and if you can parse it all and paint a picture of it intelligently, then that helps you out. In fact, there's tools out there that essentially do that for you. Maltego is one that I used to use for like just kind of piecing all things together. And then if you had like the super expensive version, you could, once you did that, you could have it go out and pull in even more information and do more correlations for you. So kind of like automating it.
There is so much that can be scraped by what we leave behind. And that's, it's funny, like people keep like, and you know what, maybe this might be an opportunity for you to tell me where I got this wrong. But I've had the idea for quite some time that we're almost post security. Like, it doesn't make sense to be stupid about it. Like, there's no reason to like leave your social security number laying around or advertise
or post it on a giant billboard.
Yeah. God, that was dumb. I mean, that's some kind of hubris right there, man. I'll tell you. But like, if anyone like the people that want to, go off grid and do this, that, and the other thing. I mean, yeah, unless you're going to go the full enemy of the state with it, you're not gonna.
It's very difficult to actually be invisible. Right. Because all the things we've been talking about are things that just average person can go get. There is even more information that companies and law enforcement and all that can get. Right. Credit card transactions and things like that. So they can trace people down. And if you made one mistake anywhere, that essentially unravels everything that you're trying to hide. So
yep.
Yeah, you have to somehow, get a laptop and not actually use, traceable money with it. And
yeah,
Bitcoin ain't that.
Right. Yeah.
There's a transaction history of everything with Bitcoin. So.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why the dark web gravitated towards Bitcoin so heavily, because I was like, well, wait a minute. The whole point of blockchain in general is to keep a traceable record. Why are you doing this?
You would have to be able to get the initial Bitcoin without having it be associated with yourself.
Oh, okay.
And then probably do that multiple times so you don't have everything all feeding to one location. So you might have to have like a bunch of small amounts of it that aren't connected to one another.
That sounds like a pain in the butt. Oh
Oh,
man,
it's a giant pain.
Yeah, it sounds like you're developing a new nickname though in the chat.
So my goggles blow the camo when I turn them on. I'm not sure if they do or not. You can try it.
Here we go. Oh, we should have done that in the post game. Oh well, it's all right.
There we go.
Titan says, is that essentially money laundering?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, I mean, you can't make it untraceable. You can just make it so difficult to trace that they stop trying, basically, right?
Yeah,
like with enough time and effort.
Yeah, you can use Tor to like hide your traffic, but if you're looking at enough points on the network, you can map traffic patterns to say, all right, well, it's probably over there.
Okay. So, well, I mean, that kind of goes back to the example I was talking about earlier. You're looking at where things aren't, essentially, right?
Yeah. Or there's enough information that's leaked that, you know, okay, yeah, you don't have their source IP and destination IP, but you know that the traffic is shaped like this.
Oh, okay.
And I see this shaped thing here, and I see this shaped thing here, and then I saw this shaped thing here. And therefore, it's probably point A is probably connected to point D over there.
Okay. Interesting. So like when you say like traffic is shaped, something like, oh, it kind of works the same way as having multiple PO boxes, the Bitcoin wallet madness. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's kind of like if there's a service outage at 1:04 p.m. in one area, and someone's looking for someone and their service goes out at 1:04 p.m., you can say, aha, this guy is probably over in this area that had that service outage. Is that what you mean by traffic shape or
no. Well, I mean, that's similar, but actually what I was referring to is, okay, I send traffic into the Tor network, you know, from my computer to some node somewhere.
Right.
And then it then propagates through the network. However, if there's an entity, you know, maybe they like efficiency and they're only using 3 letters to describe their entity name, and they're blocking the traffic at multiple points at various ISPs, then they can collect enough information where they could track down where this actually thing is.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Because
right.
You know, yeah, if you send traffic that's small enough and where it doesn't produce such a signature, like so you send a packet every once in a while, like low and slow is kind of what the term is in pen testing, where you're trying not to trigger any of the sensors, so to speak.
Okay.
You know, then you might be able to get away with it, but it's hard. So if you're doing stuff that's you know going to be obvious and easy to track, then it's going to show up even when you don't think it is. That also is used in the blue team or the defensive side, where a lot of things are encrypted these days. But malware will have certain signatures, and even though it's encrypted, you can say, oh, well, malware X looks like this when it's going across the wire. Therefore, this traffic, even though I can't read it because it's encrypted, is probably suspicious, and therefore I should drop it.
Okay. Interesting. Jackalope says it's like Office Space was stealing half a penny from transactions.
Yes.
And also Superman 3, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lesser known Superman, and for good reason. But
Ninja.
Oh wow, that reminds me. What was that? Ask a Ninja. Man, that guy. That was a while ago. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
He would do movie reviews, and I look forward to killing you next time. My favorite was the Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Gore Verbinski. It's like it needed a little more gore and a lot less Verbinski.
Okay.
That's the only thing I remember from it.
Okay.
But at any rate, but we you haven't told me yet whether or not I'm wrong. am I wrong that we are post security, and that the whole because there's some people that are like, no, I won't use Google products. I don't want them tracking me. But it doesn't matter.
So if a nation state wants to find information on you, they're gonna find information on you.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you should just give up all pretense of trying to have security, because, okay, yeah, if, say, China wanted to find my information, well, they have, really good hackers there that can break into systems and steal a whole bunch of information on me if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later why I know that.
All right. Yeah. I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah. And then, however, Steve over at the Poppin' Shop, he could probably maybe figure out that, oh, hey, this guy leaves his house every day at X time. Therefore, I could probably break into his house. Okay, maybe I don't leave my doors unlocked and have some decent security there, that type of thing. So
yeah, there's no stopping APTs. They've got the time and the resources, but when Google goes sentient, I'm throwing my phone in the ocean.
So APTs is advanced persistent threat.
Which is what, like a government agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, well, yeah, that makes sense, but, yeah, I guess for me, in nation state actors, that makes sense. Yeah, and Life's Lesson said I won't use Facebook because of that. The nation isn't my issue. It's private companies selling my stuff. No, it's mine. Get your own.
That's a big thing of trying to protect your information. I know a lot of people that don't use Google services because they don't like Google's policies. They don't use Facebook because they don't like Facebook's policies. If something is for free, odds are you're the product.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you're okay with that, like for me personally, I was looking for a bunch of storage options because I got, I've got the big Chungus, which will be our main streaming computer. That will be installed hopefully this weekend. And I needed some shelving units to move stuff around. And so out of the blue, out of nowhere, I see an ad on a website that is exactly the thing that I need in order to do it. I didn't even know it was a thing. It's like these really cool fold out shelf arms, and I got those. And it's like, they really want to sell me things. I get it. And they use the information I give them in order to sell me things. But here's the thing. I want those things. And so if they're going to give me things that I want, it's kind of worth the trade-off. Or am I not seeing something?
So, okay, if I'm searching for a product and then I see ads for said product, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to my friend and then suddenly I start seeing ads for the thing we happen to have mentioned that I've never searched for, I have a big problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, if I needed a hairdryer, I would look around for hairdryers. But I mean, you can't just say hairdryer a bunch of times, and then, you know, all of a sudden you're seeing ads for hairdryers. That would be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if there were brand names like, what is it? Clarion is the name of a hairdryer company. I wish I knew more about hairdryers, honestly. Now everybody listening to this is going to have it filled.
Yeah.
I'm easy to find. So Titan says, I'm easy to find. I'm just embracing it. For example, only put nice/boring things on Facebook. Man, I really should learn that lesson, but I really haven't. I really haven't.
I deleted my Facebook a long time ago. It's blocked on my network.
Looks on Facebook, hairdryers show up. I mean, you know, we'll see. If I start getting ads for hairdryers, I'll let you know on Monday. But so okay, so it does sound like well, but I haven't heard what I'm missing yet, though. It's like, you know, yes, is it creepy? Yes. Are they using it to show me things that I want? Yes. So I'm signing you up for the hairdryer army. Maybe I deserve it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So okay. It's so I guess what it sounds like is it's just a personal preference, and the people that are like, no, I won't.
You have to choose the level of security and you know, how much effort you're willing to put into privacy for yourself.
Yeah.
I recommend trying to at least have some things in there.
Yeah. Some. Like I do have like a throwaway email that I use for most, you know, things online and, you know, stuff like that. Like any kind of, especially anything Facebook related.
Yeah. Another thing which I kind of think falls into OPSEC and security stuff is, you know, don't use the same password on every single website.
Oh God, no.
Because they get breached all the time. And so if it's a password, you should just consider, okay, it's with this service, it's a unique password for them, and I don't use a different password anywhere else. And therefore, if they get breached, fine, I'll change my password on that site.
Yeah.
But I don't have to worry about all the other sites.
Yeah. I guess to be clear, when I say post security, I don't mean like, screw it, I'm just gonna make my password everywhere. No, I don't mean that at all. What I guess what I'm saying is the whole, I'm not going to use any services where I have to pay for a thing or register a thing or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like that, like there are some people that are like damn close to enemy.
People that you know, they go that far, and that's personally just too far for me. That's too much effort, and
yeah, because
it's another one of those things. It's like if you slip up, well, the whole house of cards goes falling down. So
absolutely, yeah. And then in a way, it's almost weirder that you don't like that. I think that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and kept a Facebook page. I just locked it down, you know, fairly tight. I think. I don't know. I'd be willing to bet Jackalop's going to be like, on second thought, no, you didn't. But I locked it down fairly tight, I think. I wanted to keep one because, you know, like we were talking about earlier, like sometimes employers will look at your Facebook page. I didn't want them to like see no Facebook. So I still have that there. It's just fairly tightened down. What do we got here? I don't know what that first, Ritz. I still don't understand. I don't speak the Twitch. I just learned PogChamp like a couple weeks ago. And
now
then they took him down.
It's been removed for some reason. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But
he got caught being a ding dong, and they were like, "Oh, all right, no, thank you. We don't associate with ding dongs."
Yeah, I guess that's a person or a thing.
Yeah. So no, the guy was I think he had said a bunch of stuff in support of the kerfuffle.
Okay,
he's pro kerfuffle.
Then he probably rightly got slapped down.
Yeah. They were like, we don't really want this representing the play of the game. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Kids these days.
Yeah. When I hear Pogs, I think like those little disc things that you threw as a kid or something. I don't know.
So I used to think of that, and then I thought of something else. And then I realized that now Pogs means play of the game.
Okay.
It's spelled different too. That's okay. I'll tell you when you're older.
No, it's still those little stupid disc things I had on it.
We'll go with
actually, I never had them, but
yeah, no, that was actually after my time. I was too old for Pogs.
Yeah, I don't know when those came out, actually.
Yeah, the little sister, she was Pog age.
Okay,
that sound right.
I'm Gen X, so if it came out in the 80s, then
yeah, yeah, no, that's where I'm at too. We are the olds. Well, I think we're just about there. Any final thoughts on OPSEC in general, OSINT, before we head over to the post game?
I mean, we covered a lot of things. We used to have what did we call it? It was essentially teaching computer security to people as if they were 5. And that's not to say like an insult. It's more to make it a simple to understand concept for people that might not be the most computer literate, because they just don't understand about all of the things that, oh, I'm giving all this information out publicly, or I'm using the same password on all my sites.
Mm.
So it was cyber party, I think is what we called it. And yeah, we probably should try to, once we get the shop back up and running, try to get someone to start teaching those again. Just because
cool.
It was the people that would attend them. In fact, LabFox was the one that would teach it. She would like either do a demonstration on, okay, well, we're gonna do an exercise of Googling your name or Googling my name and seeing what information. Please use the same password on the same size. Yeah. Yeah. So if you Google your own name, you can actually find like where your information is. And there are things you can do to, start putting that back. There's other things that you just can't really get rid of because without like a lot of issues. Like if you own a house, it's really hard to get that information out there. Like there are things you can do, but you kind of had to do it before you bought the house. So,
oh, really? I didn't know that was even possible.
And you lose some of the benefits in that. You're essentially setting up like a shell corporation that bought the house. The corporation doesn't get all the benefits that you as a home buyer might get. So it's going to cost you money.
Yeah. Well, but then again, if you get foreclosed on, isn't it the business's responsibility?
I don't know all the details. I knew it was probably something I couldn't do. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. You're just gonna be like, I'm firing myself. This guy's lazy. He doesn't do crap. Yeah. Get around county assessors.
Yeah. The county assessor site is where you find a lot of that public information.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. Well, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and call the first hour a done deal. A little bit late, but it's all right. Well, early/late, depending on how you look at it.
It's a time. Time is wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, swap out some beverages, and come back for the post game. Now, if you are watching us on YouTube, number one, welcome to Saturday. Have a good one. And in just a quick second, you're gonna see a video of me telling you all the stuff that you missed right now. Hi, I'm the Mighty Pong, host of the show that you just got done watching. Hey, if you'd like to see the entire show and not just the first hour, make sure that you watch on twitch.tv/Synshop every Friday night for the main show. And on Monday nights, we have our special project night. So you can join us, build something, and basically throw stuff at us while we try to concentrate on things. But hey, anyway, we hope to see you there. It's a lot of fun. So join us over there, twitch.tv/Synshop. I am, of course, the Mighty Pong, and we will see you there. One take. Not one take.